number of years ago, my family and I lived in Iowa, and one February, I was to take a short flight from Minneapolis to Omaha as the first leg of a longer flight. And if you've ever lived in the Midwest in the winter, you know it gets really cold. And this was a particularly cold February. And I was nervous anyway in the airport of Minneapolis, and the sleet was falling, and pretty soon this little 15-seater plane pulled up, and I thought, oh no, this is what I'm going to take in this storm. And as I walked out on the asphalt, it seemed really noisy, the plane engines and so forth. And I sat down, and when the plane took off, it seemed as if it was going at an especially steep angle. And all of a sudden, whoosh, the plane pierced the cloud cover, and I was looking up at the brightest sun I'd ever seen. I hadn't seen the sun in weeks. It was startling. I don't know if any of you have had a similar experience, but I looked around at the blue sky and again at the sun, and everything seemed so peaceful. And after a few minutes of this, I looked down, and there was the dense cloud cover, and it occurred to me that the people down there didn't know the sun was shining, because I didn't just moments before. I was only up above the clouds for about 20 minutes before the descent down into Omaha. And as we went through the clouds, when we were still quite a ways from the ground, I could see the little buses and the cars going in nice patterns, and the buildings and so forth. And the closer we got, things seemed to be busier. And then when we got down to the airport, of course, airports are the epitome of hubbub. But I had such a profound experience above the clouds that I was able to carry that peace with me. And it's occurred to me since that time that the sun is always shining. Let's look at that for a moment. Here we are on Earth, and 93 million miles away is the sun, and we are rotating on our axis. And of course, when we're facing the sun, we experience the sun as shining, but when we turn away at night, the sun hasn't stopped shining, has it? And of course, we have that welcome experience in the morning where we see it again. Even when we're pointing toward the sun and there's clouds, of course, we can see that the sun is still shining, but our view is just temporarily blocked. When I was above the clouds, my reality was that peacefulness, but still recognizing what had gone on below. But prior to going above the clouds, my reality was this big. I hadn't really been aware of what was going on below. And some of the things I'll be sharing with you have to do with the fact that the bigger the reality, the more true the whole picture. And there's a different feeling associated with each level of reality.